It's cool.
This is the hat Kanye should have been wearing.
African great again.
Hey, that's hard.
Hey, that's dope.
Let's get this.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to Say That. It's the boy Kali, back with another edition. Today we talking about your boy Kanye West. You know, he out there wilding. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Starting with Young Fit, go ahead, and then you can introduce it and let it go on.
What up? What up? It's your boy Young Fit here. You know, get up in the conversation, spit my piece.
Right. Next.
Yeah, this is Brian Clinton over here. I'm just in the cut.
And my name is Kyle Karabu Nebjari. Probably never heard of me, probably have, internet sensation. Just kidding.
All right.
How y'all brothers doing?
My real name is Thanos, just to be honest. I don't want to have no problem.
Most def. So I'm gonna start off with a softball one. How do each one of y'all feel? I'm gonna start with Fit. I'll give you 30 seconds or so just to give a plain explanation of how you feel about Kanye right now.
Yeah, I still like Kanye. Honestly, my true opinion. I really didn't feel any type of way about him. About some of his actions, what he said. I felt a way about certain things that he said, but Kanye's Kanye. Let Ye be Ye. At the end of the day, it's like he did say some out of bounds stuff, but he ain't nobody to be tripping over. He ain't the president or nothing like that. So, he's an entertainer. What do you expect? He's entertaining us.
Right. Next to me, hey, how you say your name up there? Is it Nebjari?
Nebjari, right.
I see you got to Make Africa Great Again up there.
Right. That's right.
You feel a certain type of way.
Hey, that's the hat Kanye should have been wearing. That's what
Yeah, this hat, there's a phrase I've heard called "Make America Great Again," and the people who stand behind that phrase know exactly what it means, and other people don't know what it means. And what they mean by "Make America Great Again," let's say you ever read any for literature, let's say you read something called the White Man's Bible. If you ever look that up and you read some of the things that are outlined and you understand about the mindset of people that think like that, and what they mean by "Make America Great Again" is the time, before and during, I guess you could say, slavery, or the time where, as far as what we have after the civil rights movement, what we see now, there was a time where before then, and this is what they mean by that phrase, and by that I mean white people, European Americans, however you want to say it. They have a code that they go by, and that's one of the codes that they utilize. There's a writer slash conscious brother. His name is Dr. Neely Fuller, and if you ever check out him and his work, he'll tell you that there's levels of what is called, white supremacy, or what is the understanding of, what is white supremacy, racism, white supremacy, and they have rules, and races. People have rules and codes that they follow. And black people, I'm going to say, quote unquote, black people are, I guess you could say they are oblivious to these codes. They're kind of sort of like cultural codes, if you know what a cultural code is, such as if you're generational or a person who your parents came here from some other country, and then you're maybe first, third, whatever generation, but you still are maintain or retain your culture. You see this, for instance, if you go talk to someone and you see them speak patois, or you see a Chinese person or Korean or whatever, and they're speaking to their parents in their language, and they turn to you and speak English, that type of thing. So people keep their culture, and inside of their culture, they go by codes. And so white people, racist white people, have codes, and you probably never usually see them argue in front of black people, you know. But anyway, I'm saying that to say this: how I feel about Kanye is Kanye as a black person doesn't have a code, and the things that he said, as big as he is as far as an influence, he should have a code where you never say those things in front of so-called black people. I'm sorry, white people, and you throw your people per se under the bus like that. That is something you say in front of your own brothers and sisters at the house in your home. You know, that is not something you spread on television and make more of a mockery of the people that we already are because of our skin color. It's very ignorant. That was, I want to say that was unwise, especially for his age and his stature and what he stands for.
I can agree with that.
All right, all right. Brian Clinton, PC.
I look at him like an attention whore. You know, he like, I don't know how to take him seriously. I don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, he's doing that for attention. Then other times I'm looking at his face and I see this deer in the headlights type situation where he has this, like, I almost want to feel sorry for him because I feel like he's a little boy crying on the inside. Like, the motherfucker needs a hug type shit. Like, you know, I feel like, like probably the last person to really love him like a human being is his mama. So now that she's gone, this nigga's running aloof. And he can like, there's nobody there in his corner that could check him. You know, he's in a room full of Kardashian, you know what I'm saying? They have a father, mother, a mother, father, or a sham, or whatever the fuck she is. So it's like, you know, once you're in a situation where everybody's so accepting of shit like that, then there's no standard. It's like whatever goes, goes. So then he comes out into the public, you know, forgetting that we're living in real life, and you say some dumbass shit like that. Like, you knew if you say some shit like that, you know people are going to disagree or agree or whatever, but you know the outlash. So why sit there and look so blank unless you're really an idiot? And I don't think he's an idiot. I just think he's like, you know, he's lost his fucking mind. He's lost his little white rabbit, so to speak. You know, and I mean, I'm not trying to, I don't hate the man or anything, but, you know, I can actually remember when he made good music and I used to be like, oh, this fool's hard. And now he's not in our mouth about his music no more and about his perspective on, you know, hip hop. He's out here talking about shit that has nothing. And then it's sad that the way the media can give somebody a platform and they can just say shit and we pay attention to it. It's like, why are we even talking about this right now?
Hold on real quick. Hey, yo, Fit.
Yeah.
Make much noise over there. I'm hearing all that clicking.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all good. All right, go ahead.
Man, we know you got a gold chain, man. You don't have to let it hit the camera like that, bro. You just blinded me with one of those diamonds. I can't see. You see, but I mean, you know, I mean that's. I mean, I'm you know, I'm trying to put a little humor to it, but at the same time, it's not really funny. It's like the man that lost his mom. He's, you know, in a room full of dingbats. You know, they don't stand for nothing. They just want to be seen. And so his insanity is nurtured. It's nurtured by some feminist estrogen clan. You know, it's like there's no, you know,
Why would you say that on TV?
around like more masculine figures. I'm breaking up
a little bit, but you good now. I hear you now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his insanity is nurtured. You know, I feel like he needs real good friends in his corner that aren't yes men to be able to say, you know, hey man, that's some bullshit, man. Keep your, you know, you need to go out here and apologize and watch your mouth because you look a lot different than the same cat that just said George Bush don't like black people. You go from saying that, you go from saying some shit like that to like, you know, running, you know, being the head of the campaign of the Trump campaign. It's like, and I'm not going to front. I actually supported Trump as far as getting in office. I don't support none of his policies. I'm just not a democratic minded person. And I feel like we have a lot of garbage Republicans in office and, you know, some of these people make the whole ideology look bad, but, you know, I'm way more for the Republican ideology than Democrats. But, you know, as far as Trump's opinion, he's a dummy. And the fact that Kanye could sit there with his jawbones twisted like that and let his mouth spit out like, nigga, that's why your jaw got broken in a car accident, nigga, because you say stupid shit, nigga. Stop.
Yo, bro, but what I'm gonna say,
nigga.
B, let me say something about Kanye. Like, you know, everybody want to throw Kanye under the bus, man. Kanye this, Kanye that. Crips want to kill him. Whoop de whoop. Like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Like, why don't y'all stick to gangbanging for one? Like, when did gangbangers get into politics? Like, stop. Y'all niggas, you don't like other people because of color of a rap.
Hey,
So
but you know what? I mean,
I feel at the end of the day,
we come from
it's just like,
we come from a group of people that we come from a group of people that kind of like take pleasure hating on each other. So it's like, instead of checking niggas for shooting niggas for colors, you want to check a nigga for picking a political party. It's like, get the fuck out of here, Daz. Like, nigga, you was just on a Christian.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. B, you just totally went in on Kanye, but nobody got nothing to say about George Zimmerman. The Crips don't want to kill George Zimmerman. You know what I'm saying?
I want them all dead.
All black people in the United States, they assume their position because they know their position.
Right.
So you play your position. When you know you're a black person in the United States, subliminally, you know what's going to happen to you if you do something to a person that's not a person of color, is a white person or so-called whatever you want to call them. So you know what that is. You know what a white neighborhood is. You know what a black neighborhood is. Just by me saying those terms, you know what that is. You know, you know, Jesus the Christ is white. He's not a black man, even though truly that person per se is a person from the Middle East, a person of color, a black man. You know, but in their Bible, it doesn't teach that. In their Bible, in their mindset, their God is white. You know, so what I'm saying is people with that mindset have practiced and been practicing their dominance over the planet for the last couple of hundred years.
Right.
We as people, as far as color, black people, however you want to say it, have not had people to practice that on as a whole. We've not gone around the planet and done this to people. We haven't oppressed people around the planet. That has never been in the nature of any man or woman like that. You know, to be dominant is one thing, but to rule the whole planet is a different type of psychopathy.
So on that, let me ask you something real quick. One of the things he said is after 400 years of slavery, it's like it's basically our fault, like still, like, you know, for us to still be in slavery after so long.
That's insane. Only a very, that's what I meant earlier about when I say he's unwise and ignorant. And you have to realize that the United States wouldn't be the United States today, if I can point this out. You know, you can look up Bacon's Rebellion, but I'm going to switch to something a little bit maybe less familiar, and that is the Haitian Revolution. You know, the overture, you can look this up, and these people got together, they tossed Christianity, well, the version, the one that's given, you know, pushed on them through the Spaniards and the Franks or French or whatever, however you want to say it. And you got to remember that when this rebellion happened, you got to remember there was a territory, you know, the French territory here in the United States. Before it was the United States as we know it now, you know, it's broken up into, you know, the Brits had this, the French had this, the Portuguese had this, and they went south and had South America. So you got to remember, this is called the Americas. There's North and South America.
Wait, so America. Did you say Americas? Are you banging now?
Yeah, America. Well,
it is.
That's what you know, Santa, the Pinta, the Maria, and all that. That's what they were doing. They went all over the world banging on the natives of the planet. But, you know, these are, when you say gangster earlier, like, what are you talking about? These people are gangster. But anyway, back to what I was saying is you have these, you have what's called the Haitian Revolution. And if you look up what happened, it was because of the rebellion. That's one of the most biggest rebellions. That's one of the reasons why they started hanging most of the, especially the Negroes, per se, you know, Negroes or people of color here in the United States, is because they were business owners. Most of those people were business owners and prominent men and women. They weren't just, you know, average Joes. So when they were, anyway, my point is, if you go look up what is called the Black Codes of the 1600s, if you're more familiar with the more, anyway, let me get back to the French territory. So because of the Haitian Revolution, the French were so monetarily distraught, you know, they went broke because of this war. And so they had to sell the Louisiana Purchase, and, you know, that's what all that is about. And so you have to remember, because of that, they formed a new concept, you know, in the European, you know, colonial ways of never again.
Now,
you know, that's where that phrase comes from. And when they say it, when they mean it, it's another one of their codes when they say never again. the never again before that would be if let them tell it, it would be when the Moors ruled Spain. If you go look up Moor, look up the word Moor and look up places like Granada, you know, and look up the history, you know, Moorish history, look up the Moorish concepts in science, and that's what brought them from the Dark Ages. They don't want you to understand what they were doing, you know, in the so-called Dark Age. No one else on the planet had a Dark Age. Nobody.
But what I'm gonna say with this, bro, is what I think Kanye meant by when he said 400 years of slavery, it seemed like a choice to me. He was pretty much saying that, of course it wasn't no choice, but he's saying, man, let's get over that shit. It's time for us to build and start building and worry about now. We ain't and that's what he was pretty much pointing out. He said that statement.
How can you say that he was? How can you say he was saying that? That's not what he said, though.
Because you didn't listen to everything he said, because that's what he ended up saying. That statement was just to grab everybody's attention.
Well, see, that's not wise. And again, you're in front of people, and people who listen to Kanye, for instance, people who listen to Kanye don't all just speak English. You're talking to, you know, you do music. People look up to the United States, especially Kanye, as him being, you know, you're not just talking to the person in the hood that's sitting next to you. So when you're a musician, again, it goes like what I was saying. You could say whatever you want to, but suffer the consequences of that. You know what it is.
I feel kind of what Fit is saying though. Like, to me, even when I listen to him talk about it, Kanye West, it sounds like he's not saying like what happened 400 years ago was our choice. What he's saying is like we've had 400 years to change what happened back then. Like, you know what I mean? Like all this shit that's true. That's true. We've had time to learn. We've had time to grow.
That's true on the surface, but then there's things like COINTELPRO. Are you familiar with that? No?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you know what COINTELPRO is, then you have to understand, like, again, like I said earlier, the European white colonizers, they practiced warmongering, total murder and genocide all over the planet and rape for these 400 years.
Yeah, silent weapons for quiet war.
All of that. So no other people have done this. So while you can sit there and say from your position, whatever it may be, that, oh, we've had this much time to get over. No, you haven't.
But it's not that time to get over what he was stating.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you're bombarded by, and that's just one thing. COINTELPRO is just one thing. We haven't brought in the black codes. Go look that up. Go look what the black codes of the 1600s are. So, and if you was walking around, this is where now today we have problems. If you were walking around.
But let me ask you this, Kaya. Hold on. Let me ask you this, not to cut you off. Let me ask you this.
What's that?
What's the highest statistics of murder amongst black people?
What do you mean by that?
Who kills black people the most? Police or black people?
That's irrelevant.
I'm just asking. That's a question.
May I answer the question?
Listen,
I want to answer.
Who killed? No, answer this question. Everybody answer. Who's killing more black people, white people, or black people?
It's an easy question, but
the answer,
is it easy? Now, let's get an easy answer.
Well, the answer is white people by far. You know why? Because I mean, there's
stop. You can't even say that. That's nonsense right there.
Listen, what you're gonna do right now is you're gonna let me give my justice, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you the math. There's more black people dying in the abortion clinics at these motherfucking Planned Parenthood.
Bruh, if you don't stop with that,
hey,
bruh, don't go left, man. We're trying to have a serious conversation right now, man.
I'm dead serious.
And that's a real answer, because what I'm trying to state right now is that we're talking about all the practices. We're talking about practices that was in 1800, bro. We talking about practices that was in 1800. It's 2018. Who's doing the killing now?
I mean, these cops are fucking niggas.
Nah, who's killing in Chicago? Who's shooting little kids?
Chicagoans.
Who's doing that?
Chicagoans.
Who's getting it in?
These niggas
You don't want to say black people.
Right. Period. It ain't no Ku Klux Klan. It ain't nobody with a fucking white supremacist shirt on. Nobody that got a Make America Great hat is going in Chicago shooting.
Your boy Chief Keef is over there.
Who's killing white people? White people. So that's what I mean by that's irrelevant. Who's killing more Chinese people? The people that you're closest to are probably the ones you lash out at, especially when you're oppressed. So that's what I meant by that's irrelevant.
Got it.
What he's stating is that we want to go ahead and Black Lives Matter when a cop kills somebody, when a white cop kill a black cop. Black Lives Matter. Yes. But what about?
Yes, of course, because that's specific.
But what about
people getting killed by cops, and cops are the people who murdering? Of course, you're going to target, but you're not going to target butterflies.
I'm gonna keep it real, Kyle. If you was a cop in the hood and niggas is killing each other every day, you pull one of these niggas over, they look like they look. Are you gonna shoot first or get shot?
Well, first,
I'm smarter than that. I wouldn't be a cop. But anyway,
I'm just saying, you a cop. You here to serve and protect. You pull a nigga over. He talking like he don't got no sense. What you pull me over for, cuz?
You breaking. First of all, if I become a cop, if I'm a person in the hood, and I become a cop. You breaking code. I don't even know how to talk about that. Besides, just I can try to make it as relevant as I can. But
I got you on that. You breaking code. You right.
But that's what I'm saying. So I don't know how to take that further except for to just fantasize about it. And what I'm saying is, I was still if I was a cop and I came from the hood, you would know I'm still hood, and you wouldn't even come at me like that because you already established that. There was no way I could be a cop in especially my own hood.
The sad
what I'm saying, everything Kanye said, I feel what Kanye was saying, man. I feel what he's saying, and I don't feel none of these niggas that's coming against Kanye because none of these niggas. I'm saying none of these niggas will sit up here and talk about Snoop Dogg. This nigga murder was a case. He actually shot a nigga. What the fuck? What about that black man Snoop? You done beat a murder case, nigga. Shut up, Das. Like, you really want to go there? Oh, Kanye's out of his mind. Because he's supporting the president of the United States, nigga. He actually is the president. Nah, bro. He is the president of the United States, my nigga, like it or not. Like it or not, he's the president.
Hey, all of these cats is baboons. They're all baboons.
Got a place. If any man on his right mind, if a person come and say, I'm gonna grab your mama by the pussy, you taking off on that cat. There's no questions. There's nothing you talking about. So that's what I'm saying. Like as a president, this is how this person carried himself. It's insane.
It is insane, but bro, that's what it is right now.
Nah, insanity should not be allowed in the public like that. And then you're a so-called ruler. I'm not into presidents like that, but you're a so-called ruler of a nation. Real people that rule this nation, you never see them. They wouldn't even be on TV. I'm just gonna leave that out there.
I feel that.
For entertainment purposes, yeah, we'll go with the president like he's running stuff, or he's running things or whatever. But I mean, how I understand how things work on the planet. You've been around the planet.
Okay. Whoa. My question is, if you can, like Kanye has to be bipolar then, because one minute you're telling George Bush you're going against him, then you're supporting.
Bruh, I'm gonna answer that one for you. He was talking about Katrina. They're not getting to those people fast enough. If a disaster happened right now and so-and-so didn't do this fast enough, he would probably feel the same way. He ain't say he feels all his politics, man.
So what's up with Syria?
Bro, is Syria in America, dog?
I mean, if we
why are you looking at other people's backyards? Like, what about Chicago?
Well, how the fuck we get in Afghanistan? I mean, we always in somebody's business. I mean, don't stop there. Get up in everybody's business.
What about South Central LA? How about you throwing a red rag on your head and walk down South Central LA and see what happens? What about that?
They don't have to. They already put crack and heroin there.
Well, what you got against red rags again? Wait, hold on.
But I'm saying, bro, we got it. What he's saying, I get what he's saying. He's saying niggas is just so oppressed about this slavery shit. None of y'all niggas was slaves. Get over that shit.
Well, the thing about
get over it, bro. Don't be a slave no more. Stop talking about slavery. It's over with.
Nobody's a slave.
You can't just be stuck in a slave mentality, like
niggas is still talking about some slave shit. Like how the fuck is Das Dillinger mad at Kanye for saying anything about slavery?
As long as Kanye is singing Jesus Walks With Him and he's perpetuating this Christian philosophy, how motherfuckers gonna be free when you pushing this false propaganda about a motherfucker?
Bro, we're in America, bro. You got a right to study religion as much as you want. Any religion. That's America. He's using his freedom of speech. He can say what he wants. But I'm saying we got ignorant ass niggas that's going against them, and these niggas gang bang and kill each other all day. And nigga, they push bullshit upon the youth all day. They talk about, nah, the youth shouldn't hear that. Nigga, you got a song called "Fuck the Fucking Police, Bitches Ain't Shit." Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about, nigga?
Hey, where are you from anyway? No, I'm just kidding. But go ahead.
I'm just keeping it real, bro. I'm just keeping it real, man.
I'm
and at the end of the day, it's like niggas is like people always want to just, oh yeah, he said the wrong shit. Who ain't saying the wrong shit? You got people getting shot over Jordans. Yeah, over some shoes, bro.
It's cool to say anything you want to, but sometimes
yeah, you can anything you want to on the planet, but beware of the consequences.
But I'm saying he's saying this to wake people up. He said 400 years of slavery. I think it's a choice because niggas are still choosing to be slaves and talk about that shit.
I think if he's
niggas is still talking about it. The Jews got reparation for the Holocaust, but they're not sitting up here making. But I'm saying
they have a Holocaust museum. Yeah. They go through it every year. What are you talking about? If in fact, what's funny is you were just talking about abortion and other things. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we can go across the board with that. Then I'm not on the black on black people, Crips, Bloods kill each other all the time. White people kill each other all the time too. That's who kills each other are the people who are around each other. If you hang out in a group, that's most likely the people that's going to kill you. Your own brother, your own sister, whatever. Y'all close,
right?
Your own close quarters. So to me, that's what I'm saying. To me, that's an empty, false argument. Moot to me. I can't do that. I don't know how to, because as far as what is called black on black crime, I know that was invented to throw out there for people to bite. And I know good and well, you can say that about anybody, Chinese on Chinese crime or Vietnam or Vietnamese crime. Like that, nah, that's an empty argument. If you're going to argue with me about that or whatever, set a premise about something else. And
but I'm just saying, like, I'm saying what Kanye is trying to do, what he's doing, he's just pretty much putting that out there like, hey, I support the president. So what? I can support the president. That's Dillinger. You support Crip. Should I be tripping that you support Crip?
Again, a Crip though, to me, I mean, I don't know too much about that except for that's Daz and Crip, whatever he do with that, and that sounds personal. It sounds like that's between them.
But isn't politics personal too?
No.
It's your personal belief. You don't have to like the left wing or the right wing.
Politics. I mean, your own personal politics is different than politics period. So is that what you mean? But what I'm saying is, you can still have your own personal thing about politics, but you still choosing from what is given to you from the nation, Democrat or Republic. That's not yours. Your grandfather didn't make that. He didn't. Right. He didn't build that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like I was saying earlier, as far as culture, if your culture, a culture people or people with culture, their culture comes first. You can have a person who's Oromo, they could be Fulani, it could be whatever clan or tribe where they're from, but but they could be Christian or they could be Muslim or whatever, but they still going to choose their family first. It's not like the United States where here, if your mother's Christian and you decide to be an atheist or you become Muslim or something, and she gets mad at you, she could tell you, well, you're not part of, you don't believe in my Jesus, and they ostracize you. That's insane. That's an insanity that people do that. Here, people chase things that are physical or outside themselves, and that's how I see Kanye. So if you're going to speak about certain things, speak relevant to your culture and to the rest of the people. When he said what he said, he did not relate to everybody, and he should have said it in a better way and be wise with it. He was very unwise and he was reckless. He's too old.
I feel at the end of the day,
too old. He's too old to be acting like a 19-year-old.
I feel though like Kanye said what he said, bro. Honestly, I feel Kanye said what he said. He didn't hurt nobody. And the only people that's getting mad is black people. They need to get over this shit. Niggas ain't slaves. Niggas is still talking about slavery. Nigga, like, get over the slave shit, man. Niggas is still watching Roots. Why are we still playing Roots? Like, why are they still putting Roots on? Shaka Zulu, like, bruh, it's 2018, bruh. Like, nobody want to hear about no. I'm just keeping it.
I don't think it's a question of slavery.
I don't have to mute people out. Y'all gotta hear me when I be talking. All right, the time is cutting right now. I'm about to start a fresh new one. So cut it down and restart it and send everybody the link again. Y'all hear me?
What's that?
You hear me?
Respect it.
Hey, Fitty.
Oh, he's getting into it right now. All right, yeah, I'm about to shut this down, and I'm gonna start a new one. I'm gonna send everybody the link again, and we're gonna start up a new fresh one.
All right.
Okay,
All right,
that's
so it'll
hilarious.
take like 2 or 3 minutes.
All right.
All right, for sure.